What's going on, guys? My name is Seyi Aladejobi from WRSU 88.7 FM, Rutgers, New Brunswick, and I am now talking to Jared Lee, the illustrious rapper, singer, illustrator, creative director, and you guys know him better as Duckwrth. So welcome, Duckwrth. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you living?
I'm doing all right. Can't complain. Where are you calling us from, or where are we talking to you from? Where you at right now?
I am currently downtown Los Angeles. I probably should try to find a more quiet place because it's hella big rigs.
Or not? It's coming through really clear over here, so I think you're all right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So just to give you guys, listeners, a little heads up, we're going to be playing a game with Duckwrth. It's called Story Time. It's not really a game. It's more just just to get a little bit more insight on the man behind the music, behind the art. So we got a couple categories. The first one I'm going to throw at you is called Flying South. And it's basically just all about crazy nights with Duckwrth on tour, what you've been doing overseas. Do you have any crazy stories that you've got from, being around the globe, seeing stuff that, maybe the fans might not be used to seeing?
I had this one when I was in, I think it's called Guangzhou, China. I think that's how you say it. But, yeah, I was having, throat issues and stuff. So I was looking for tea. Yeah. So I didn't see any tea around the hotel that I was at. So I just went on the street. Mind you, there's nothing in English. There is nothing. And my regular card doesn't work. So I'm using my credit card.
Yeah.
And my credit card doesn't work in China much at all.
Damn.
So then I'm trying to find a way to pay for tea. But first I was thinking fuck, I can't even find a way to pay for it if I don't even know how to say it.
Right.
Stuff. So I'm walking around and I look on my phone. It's just my phone isn't working, the internet ain't working, so I don't know how to say tea in Chinese.
You can't even ask for what you're looking for.
So I'm going to different stores and I'm like, hey, do you guys have tea? And then they're just like, what tea? No, and I'm like, yeah, tea, drink, and I make the little hand motions for a pot, and then somebody gives me a key to the bathroom. I'm like, no, not tea, not a key to the bathroom, tea. And then they're just they don't know what I'm saying. So then I go to a restaurant. I'm like, all right, cool. This restaurant, they gotta have tea. Mm-hmm. I just gotta figure out a way to translate to them that I'm trying to get some tea. So I go to a restaurant. I'm like, hey, you guys have tea? Doing the hand positions again, like pot, hot, cup, tea.
Yeah,
just
playing charades with them basically.
Tea. And I don't know what it is with Americans, why we think that saying it louder makes it helps to translate because Vada doesn't understand English. So I'm like, tea. They still don't get it. So then they was like, oh, tea. So then they open up a menu and they point to this one thing on the menu and it's a bowl of beetles.
A bowl of what?
A bowl of beetles. I'm like, this definitely isn't tea.
Yeah.
So
I get that from tea.
I get back to the hotel. And after failing and getting a key for the bathroom and a bowl of beetles, you know what I'm saying? I feel pretty feel like a failure. So now I'm walking around. I'm just damn, I just really need some tea. And I look on the table and it's a hot pot.
No.
With tea.
No, bro.
So, yeah.
I gotta ask though, did you try the beetles? Live like the Romans do. Did you get a little explorative with that, or?
Yeah, I couldn't do the bowl of beetles.
That's fair.
I wasn't ready for that.
That's fair. Especially when you going out looking for tea. That's a big culture shock right there. You're not ready for that prepared.
That's a very big culture shock. Super culture shock. I didn't even know beetles was an option.
That's true.
I think I got a dietary restriction on beetles. So
it's not in my diet. I don't know that one.
Look,
when were you in China?
When was I in China? Last year.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up. Were you there with a tour or for a show? Or were you just there to go explore?
For touring. Yes, I was on tour with Starro.
Starro, nice.
DJ and producer.
Yeah.
Producer DJ.
That's what's up. She got some great hits. Didn't she produce that song "Pick Up the Phone" with Travis Scott, Young Thug?
I'm not sure.
Or I think that was her. But she's got some crazy beats out. That's what's up. Word. All right, so this next one, you're gonna find out real quick. I'm just making some really bad dad puns with these. This next one is called Duck Sauce, and this one is about kind of going off what you just talked about, the finest meals that you've ever had. Where was it, And if it was the first time you ever had like a really crazy fancy meal, like what was that experience like?
The real what type of meal?
Like the finest meal you've ever had. Like where was it? Like the most expensive meal, or like just like the best food you ever had? Like whatever. It's up to you to gauge that.
Easy.
Mm-hmm.
I was just in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Maybe like good 4 months ago. And it was during Mardi Gras.
Ooh.
And New Orleans is known for their food.
Mm-hmm.
And like my homie like put me on all these different spots. He was like, "Now you got to go to this one spot. It's like Nigerian and like Cajun food mixed together." So I went there and Cajun. I was crazy. Yeah, right. Then I went to another spot. It's like actually a Vietnamese spot in New Orleans, and they were hella good. But it's like there's one spot that you really need to go to. It's called Cajun Seafood. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go there. And the girl that I was with, we were talking about it and stuff, and she was like, "Oh yeah, for sure, I got you. Like, we're gonna go to Cajun Seafood." So we go to Cajun Seafood. It's like a whole line of people, man, like a big old line, but it's all wrapped inside of the restaurant. So it's like a circle of like people. And I'm looking at it, and it's just like they got crawfish, and then they got potatoes, they got corn on the cob, and then they got something else. They got crab legs. So I'm like, okay, cool. We probably just gonna get a little bit of this, a little bit of that. The girl that I'm with, her name is Trey. Trey, she goes, and she's from New Orleans. So she was like, "Hey, let me get a pound of crawfish. Let me get a whole bag of potatoes, a whole bag of corn." And then I was like, "Oh yeah, let me get some crab legs too." And I was like, "Wait a minute, how the hell are we gonna eat like a pound of crawfish with all these potatoes and all this corn?" And she was like, "I got you. Don't worry about it." And we got to the crib, and like, yo, like you can't even eat it there. It wasn't like that type of restaurant. You had to take home with you.
Word.
But it's like, this was like the most amazing food, the most amazing seafood I've ever had, bro. Like I could not stop eating. Like the crawfish was like insane. Seasoned hella well. Like, and then there's like a sauce that they cook the crawfish in, and then they also put the potatoes and the corn in it. So they cook that all in the same. And then like, so all that, like I probably had like a good, like, I've never had that many potatoes, like full potatoes. I had like 5. Like,
I thought you were talking about like little cubed up. You know me, like whole potatoes?
I'm talking about full potatoes. Whole potatoes, bro. Like 5 of them things. Then I had like probably 3 corn, little full corns and stuff. I had a hella crawfish, and then I had crab legs. And the crab legs, bro, like it was so good, bro. Like I try to find any meat that I can get within like the legs, bro. I've never like slurped like that.
You scavenging for it.
I ain't never slurped something like that in my life, but I was done. I was fully done. Full itis, knocked out, no hope for me. Done. That shit was so good.
That's a good time, man. The problem with that kind of stuff is like you gotta have the real stuff, like from New Orleans, like that real Cajun stuff.
From New Orleans,
man.
Yeah, and it was like in the 9th Ward. So it was like real, like hood, like real, like good food, bro. Like your mama could have cooked this. Like, your grandma could have cooked this. Like it was so good. So that's one of the best experiences. Other than that, there was other spot I went to that had shrimp etouffee, and that was like hella crazy too. But yo, that was the one though.
That's what's up.
Seafood.
And you know what's funny about that kind of stuff? People always try to say, like, you got to go to the most expensive places. You got to go to the most fancy places to get the best meals. I'm telling you, the best food I ever had is, like, the hole-in-the-wall places where it's just the auntie in the back with the big old pot cooking up something crazy every time. So I'm glad to hear it still carries over.
That's the best ones, man. It's something, I don't know what it is. It's a concentration of seasoning in, like, hole-in-the-wall or, like, hood spots. Like, even out here in L.A., like, we got a spot called Doolin. And it's just like another like not seafood, but it's a soul food spot. Yeah. And it's just like you only find them in the hood, like Crenshaw, South Central, and it's like like insane, like amazing. And it's like they give you big servings. Like I've never finished a full like plate in one day. I always got to either share it or I got to like split it up to like 2 or 3 days.
Dang.
It's good.
What kind of food did you grow up with, man? Like what kind of food were they cooking at home?
A whole array of things. My mom used to make a lot of jambalaya and stuff, and she made soul food. She made fish a lot. I mean, like general stuff, but like mainly like that whole like black type food, so like greens, like black eyed peas, like cornbread, all that stuff.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I used to eat, and when I was eating ham, my mom would make like ham, like a honey glazed ham. during like holiday season.
That's a classic.
It used to be so good.
All right. Let's go on to the next story time question. This one's called "What's It Worth?" And this one's about pretty much just like, what's a time that you really took a plunge, like you really took a risk with your music, with your career, with like your brand, that propelled the idea of Duckwrth forward in a way that, like, if you hadn't taken that chance, you might not be where you are right now still.
Yeah. So the one from what I remember is I was super inspired. It was about like 2017.
Mm-hmm.
I was super inspired by like David Bowie, Freddie Mercury, and what I love about them the most is like they were androgynous.
Mm-hmm.
So that means, like, you know what I'm saying, like males, but like using like feminine style in their clothing and like the way that they perform and stuff like that. But it like kind of like it liberated them, and it kind of made them like just like these amazing rock stars.
Right.
And I was like, damn, man, like what I took from it is just like that's a supreme amount of comfort that you can have within yourself. And I was raised with hella women, so it's just like, yeah, I got like feminine energy in me as well, just because of the amount of women that I was like, you know, raised with.
Yeah.
So I was just like, man, like I'm trying to get my shit on some rock star level type stuff. And I want to be able to wear anything I want to wear. And then I made this song called Boy. And in the song, like, I call myself like a boy, and then I call myself a girl. And it was just like, it was so funny to perform that song in front of like either OGs, like hip hop OGs, or like just like gangsters, like type dudes and stuff like that. Like, sit there, call myself a girl, bro, and they just be hella confused. They'd be so confused, and it'd be the funniest thing in life, bro. But like I said, what I did, it just like propelled just my life performance. Like in certain restrictions, like as a dude, you want to make sure that you know you're keeping it real bulky on stage. But there's sometimes I want to like hit a double spin or something like that, or like just different like these different moves that like Prince would do and shit. Right. But it's like you got to be in touch with your feminine in order to like do some of these moves and stuff. Or even like from what I'm wearing, man, like wearing like a flared pants or like, you know what I'm saying, or like different type of like perforated like Jamaican tank tops, like the little fishnet ones and shit. Like I was like everything, painting my nails and stuff, like everything, man. I had some platform shoes, like everything, man. But just like not having any restrictions and kind of just doing anything I wanted to do.
Right. You know, there's like a lot of like psychology based behind that. In general, they say that like people they have inside of them a really strong feminine and masculine energy. And the only reason why we don't see more expression of that is because of societal restrictions that tell us, like, this is what you're supposed to be. So it's really interesting and really cool in general, it's like to see where we're moving with that culturally, because, like, I see a lot of people fucking with your style, man. A lot of people appreciate your energy and like the fact that you can go and they'll see you, you know, checking out the men's section, but also checking out the women's section for some fire, because there's really stuff there that like you might not know just because people tell you that's not your section. But it's really like it's inspiring, you know, to see more people, especially young black men, going out and pushing the limits of what they say you should be. So that's some good stuff, man. That's some good stuff.
Yeah.
It's a little like this.
What's crazy?
Yeah.
What was that?
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying, like, what's crazy is this wasn't the first time this happened. Like, if you look at a lot of the artists in the 70s, I was looking at Earth, Wind and Fire, and like looking at what Earth, Wind and Fire wear. Like, them niggas wearing like crop tops, like full on fucking crop tops, bro, belly button showing and everything, with big old shoulder pads, looking like Dragon Ball Z characters and stuff, with big old like platforms and glitter and everything, and like Rick James, like they look like females, bro, and everything. But like that, it didn't depict their sexuality. They were just like, they were rock stars, bro.
Yeah,
and they didn't care, man. And like that was like it, bro. Like they were just bolder than life. And I was just like, man, like that's so crazy that you could just do that and be that. But it's like that, you know what I'm saying? The renaissance that we have right now, it's a renaissance because it definitely wasn't the first time this happened, you know?
Right.
And like that type of energy, that 70s type of energy and psychedelicness and stuff is like found its way back. But yeah, no, definitely. I mean, man, I was even like wearing skirts and like, because I would call them kilts, but I was like, man, fuck this shit. It's not even kilts, bro, because I would get it from a Goodwill, like a thrift shop, in the like female section, bro. So they were literally just like some old Catholic plaid like skirts and shit, but just a little bit longer. And I was wearing them things for a minute and stuff. and like I look damn good in it too.
It's a,
But
it's a vibe. It's a vibe.
See what comes from it.
That's what's up. All right, let's go on to the next story time question. This one's called 2 Web Feet. So basically, I was watching a couple of your videos. It seems like you know how to coordinate yourself. You seem like you're pretty light on your feet, right? Can you dance?
Say it one more time.
You seem like a person that's pretty light on your feet. Like you know how to coordinate yourself. Are you a dancer? Do you consider yourself a dancer at all?
Nah. I just be grooving.
Just be grooving.
It would be insulting to the people who actually like dance, you know. Like I feel like I can get down, and I feel like my dancer homies, they say that I dance or I can dance and stuff, but it's like watching them. Like my homegirl, like she's a crazy dancer, and like she took me to one of not even rehearsal, but just like a dance class.
Yeah.
And like, bro, like them steps was like insane. I could not keep up with them like at all. Like actually having like a synchronized step, no, that's not for me. But like freestyling and just like grooving, you know, like that's like you have your general step, and you just mix them up, throw a little spin in it, and you good. But now I'm gonna call myself a dancer. I just be grooving.
But you groove down. So when you go to like parties and stuff like that, you move. You know what I mean? Like, right?
Yeah, I move.
That's what's up. I was basically, so this one is just asking like, what's the time that like you were at a party and like, because I feel like this happens especially to black guys, when you're at a party and you like one of the few black guys there, and especially if you like can handle yourself, even if you're not like a dancer, but if you can handle yourself, everybody starts looking at you, the floor opens up for a second, it's you like in the middle. So I want to hear if you got any stories like that.
Good question. I mean, it happens. It happens the other day.
Oh yeah.
But what I've been dancing to now these days versus what I used to dance to, because when we was dancing to, we was younger. We was dancing like Pretty Ricky and like I don't know, like Yin Yang Twins or like Lloyd or something like that. Like we were just trying to just like freak girls on the dance floor. You know what I'm saying?
That's a vibe, yeah.
Now I'm just like, I just be dancing to like 70s, 80s, like type of dance, like type stuff, like disco type of stuff, or like groovy, like soulful stuff, like just like real cool, like stuff. I like that whole era.
Oh,
it's just it's a different type of step.
For sure, it's a different kind of step. Aesthetically, it's a whole different like the vibe of that time period is really cool. But I don't really disco. Yeah. That's interesting. So you be getting down to disco and stuff.
I can get down to disco, man, because it's a certain it's like a little double step that you're doing, because the disco's like usually like 1, 2, 3, 4, and you just like I don't know, it's just like, but you still like, so it's just like I'm still like got my arms out like a bat or something.
Yeah.
But it's like my feet is just like doing like these little like things, and I don't know, like it makes sense. I feel like if there's such reincarnation, I definitely was like kicking it in the 70s.
Yeah. Rocking the fro, coming through with the bell bottom pants, right?
All that, bro. All that.
That's a vibe.
But that's my favorite stuff. Or even like if it's today, like stuff like Anderson .Paak or like the internet, or I know I'm missing some people right now, but anytime like those two come on, it's just like, oh, this is a group. You know what I'm saying? We're grooving. I love that.
That's what's up. So you mentioned
like, you know what I'm saying? It's not.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say it's because everything's like super chopped out, but whatever. Continue. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say you mentioned Anderson .Paak and the internet, both really really great acts. But I was gonna say, what have you been listening to recently besides your disco and stuff from the 70s and 80s?
Yeah, what I've been listening to?
Yeah.
All right, so I have this app called like radio, and it's like hella O's, but it's really tight, because what it is like you pick a decade, like from 1900s all the way to 2010, and it's like you can pick any region, any continent, any city, any country in the world, and it will play you that music that's in that time period or in that decade.
Oh,
so and you can pick from slow, fast, and then to weird, and it's just like I let it go random sometimes, and I just be like just hearing all type of stuff, because it's like for me, like being a artist or a musician and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to hear what's happening now, because you're going to hear it anyway. Right. But it's like, I'm trying to pull from, like, some more original places. And it's like, there's certain drum patterns, certain rhythms, certain, like, musical progressions that, like, we've kind of forgotten about, because we were like very much in a digital age, you know.
Yeah.
And we're very, you know, very much into like the trending patterns and stuff. So it's like I'm trying to pull from like damn near the 50s, trying to pull from like 70s, 80s, you know what I'm saying? Like all that stuff. Like, man, shit, maybe go back to the 40s or something, you know, and just find something that people aren't using, and then like add a modern spin to it, you know, and it just makes them like super tight. We did that the other day. We like did like a kind of like a 4 on the floor type of drum pattern, but with like an extra like I can't really describe it. But then we added like a bossa nova guitar pattern to it. That's like a Brazilian guitar.
Right.
And like, bro, it was insane. And it was just like, damn, this sounds brand new.
It sounds special about that though. When you can draw in the influences from not only just like your contemporaries, but the people that came before you, especially the people that came before you in completely like almost alien regions that you don't know about until you start really, you know, crate digging, finding the stuff that's going on. So that's what's up.
Bruh.
Man.
It's so much good music, man.
So much good music out
there. Especially in Africa, too. Like, I've been listening to a lot of music from, like, Sudan and, like, Ethiopia. Just, like, that whole eastern region. All the way, even, like, Egypt, too. But, like, during the 70s, like, there was on something else. And then there's, like, this whole genre of music. It's like psychedelic rock music from Africa and from the 70s.
From Africa.
And it's like Nigeria, like all those regions. Like they were doing psychedelic rock, bro, but like in the tightest way.
Dang, I gotta check that stuff out. That's what's up. Let me ask you, what were you listening to when you were making your last album, The Fallen Man? Was there a certain kind of like general genre inspiration that was pushing that one?
Yeah, I was either listening to like very distorted like trap shit, or like heavy like I always say listening to like punk music from like BBH or like Bad Brains and stuff. But overall I was listening to a lot of classical music. Like it was this one hold on one second. It's just one composer named Prokofic, and I was listening to like all his work. He did a whole like piece for Romeo and Juliet, like the earlier one. They did Cinderella, and it's just like a lot of the sounds. It's just like it was like so epic. And like for the one he did for Romeo and Juliet, it was super dark. Like it would have its light moments, but for the most part, it was like super super dark. And I was eating all of it up. So definitely that a lot of classical music.
You know, it's interesting. I feel that though when I'm listening through it. I actually wrote this down, so I wanted to make sure I talk about it. The Fallen Man has a very like grand, elegant feel to it, and I feel like that is reflected almost throughout the entire production, like down from the cover art to the actual the actual composition, because like there's a lushness to the way you made it, where like it feels like almost every single aspect of the space was filled in. Like there was a general like consciousness of that, of like we want this to feel like I was saying, like the Ugly album felt more like an abstract painting, but Falling Man felt more like a classical like portrait, where it was like it's supposed to be elegant. Is that kind of like what you were going for? It feels like it.
If elegant had a distortion, like if somebody walked in a ballroom with a big old dress, one of those big old like ugly like Venetian dresses, like walked in and then somebody set her dress on fire. That's what I wanted the album to feel like. Pretty much. So it's like I want it to be like a feeling of like doom, you know? Like it's like there's this character that's like this king character, and you know what I'm saying, very pomp and circumstance and like decadent, opulent, all those little big words that you like describe as royalty and stuff. And then like it seems like on the outside everything is well, but like there's an imminent sense of doom within it, you know? And it's like eventually this king will fall. And you hear all those stories about like kings being like assassinated, or like, you know, all those type of things, like just like crazy deaths of like royalty. And like, I don't know, I wanted to like put that in. Like, I wanted to make an album, or not even an album, like a project that sounded like a movie, and just like for you to feel like a falling, you know?
That's what's up.
So yeah, that was a really big inspiration for the project.
All right, I only got one more story time question for you. This one's called DuckDuckGoose. I really just want to talk about a time when you were a kid and just like maybe you got yourself into a little bit of trouble, how was that handled? You know, how was the folks handling that? How did you handle that? You know, if you got any stories like that from the playground.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry, you guys. Say that one more time.
No problem. It was basically just one. This one's called DuckDuckGoose, and it's all about like stories from when you were a kid. Maybe at the playground, you might got yourself into trouble. You know, fights, whatever it was between like elementary school and like middle school. Like, how did your family handle that? How did you handle that? Like, whatever stories you got.
Yeah. It was one time I went to I was going to a school in Inglewood called Morningside. This was in high school, and yeah, it was like heavy gang affiliation at that moment, and I was not trying to be affiliated at all. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, homies would be doing like a little blood handshake, and it's just like, you know what I'm saying, like it was whatever. I wasn't even tripping off of it, but it's just like, I don't know, like it was really like it was the time during initiation, and like that initiation is when you like put a little young homie on the hood, but like the little young homie had to do different things in order to like get on the hood. So like you had to jump somebody or whatever it may be. So like, I don't know, everybody would just had their eyes open and stuff. So it's like I said, I didn't want no affiliation. So like one time this dude tried to do a blood handshake with me again, and I was just like, I just gave him a regular handshake. I was like, bro, I don't even do that. Like I don't even bang like that. Yeah. He was like, what you mean, bro? I was like, nigga, I don't even bang, bro. Like I'm not with the hood, nothing like that. So then he got loud with me. I got loud with him. He got loud with me. I got louder. And he was like, cool. So he dipped off. And then, like, we go back to class. And then, like, now it's lunchtime. And my homie come in. And, like, we about to, like, leave the room or the classroom. And my homie come in. And he like, hey, don't go outside. I'm like, wow. He was like, bro, like, do not go outside. It was like that homie that was trying to do a handshake with you, he told the other bloods that you called him a slob. And like that's like the insult of blood, you call him a slob. So he was like, yeah, don't like bro, like every blood member in the whole school, like every blood member in the whole school is outside waiting to jump me. And I was just like, oh shit. I should have just did the handshake. Bro. So it was just like, damn, bro, like it was just crazy because like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was from a crib neighborhood and everything. So like, and I was wearing a lot of blue and everything. Like, I just built up the whole like the whole story for them. They're just like, yeah, like, all that shit. So the police had to come and they had to escort me out the room and everything. And it was bad, bro. It sucked. But it was cool though. It worked out and everything at the end. I seen that homie a little bit later, and he tried to like fight me. And I swear to God, like he really tried to fight me, and like a whole circle happened where I was just like, oh, he about to fight. And then like literally, like I swear to you, like time paused, bro. Like time literally paused. And then like from the circle of people that gathered around us, like the circle opened up. And then there was a voice in my head that said, walk through. And I walked through the circle, and it's just like nothing happened. Like, bro that was trying to fight me, he forgot. Yeah. And, like, I just went about the rest of my year. It was really crazy, but I felt like Moses or something. Like, I parted the Red Sea. Like, it was crazy, bro.
Man, so, there's something to that, though. Wild. There's something to that. When you have a situation like that and you can't think of any way you can still talk it out, sometimes just walking away is the best way to do it. Just walk away. Yeah. For real.
I mean, well, that's not the rules that apply in Inglewood. Like, if you try to walk away, they just sock you in the back of your head.
Dang. He said some different stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't really work that way. Like, you gotta square up. You gotta square up. And even if you like, nah, I'm good, bro. They be like, what you think you good? And they just like keep like they'll chastise you, bro. Like they'll push you. They'll like, you know what I'm saying? Like they'll run up on you and everything like that. And to the point where you just angry. And then it's just like, now you ready to fight, you know? Cause it's just like, but you ain't about to like have me out here looking like a bitch. Yeah. So that's how it be.
Tell me about that though. Growing up in cause you're from South Central, right?
South Central.
Tell me about growing up in that kind of environment. I'm from the East Coast. We got a different set of rules over here. Apparently, I mean, what you got? What's going on over there?
Yeah, in South Central. Growing up in South Central.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was different. It gave me a backbone. I don't regret none of it. I definitely had to like be on my P's and Q's. That's all. You know what I'm saying? But it kind of makes you a little bit not even like paranoid, but it just like it make you where you always like looking on your left and on your right and stuff. Yeah. But once again, like ain't nobody gonna punk me. Like especially like in these like corporate situations like that we have like as grown ups.
Yeah.
We have these meetings and everything, and then like they try to like push their agenda, and it's just like, it questions or it like challenges your like integrity and stuff. Like, nah, man. Like I done been around too many situations, and I was just like, nah. Like I'll speak up fast, but but I say that I learned that, or I got that backbone from being in South Central, So I love it, bro. And that's my home. That's where I was raised. Like I'm definitely trying to get back to South Central everywhere that I can, because it still ain't pretty. It's way better and everything, but like it still ain't pretty. But it's good people there, man. It's families. I don't know. It's tight.
That's what's up. That energy is important, though. Honestly, it's many people, grow up in a certain place, and then when they get that chance to leave, they leave and they never come back and give back to the community that brought them up. So that's important that you want to keep that energy in your community. That's really important, man.
Definitely,
good
bro.
stuff.
Definitely, man. That's the thing. Like I had to get out. That's the thing too. If there's anybody in South Central, if you're a youth in South Central, get out of South Central. Like see the world, bro. Like we praise it, but it's just like go see the world, like because the world is humongous, and then what you get from seeing the world and traveling and stuff, you bring that back to South Central. Like you bring back that education, you bring back those opportunities, shit, even bring back the language, like just but you gotta leave though, you gotta leave and you gotta see some things.
Man, that's for real. That reminds me of that song by Kendrick, Mama. I feel like that's like a really good testament to that kind of mentality of like we gotta bring something back that we learned because ultimately there's so many patterns and things that unite everybody that people don't realize because they don't get the chance to go out and see the world.
Yeah,
so
and the world is big.
The world is huge. All right, man. So that's the end of our story time game. Thank you so much for coming on the air and talking to me. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem, man.
So just some words to for the fans listening as we're logging out right now. Can you let everybody know like what you got cooking right now, what you're working on, what they should expect from Duckwrth coming up?
Yeah, so like I said, the Fallen Man was like the fall of the character, and then like the character fell to his lowest point, but then like inevitably after that you got to get up and stuff. So it's like now we're rising back into this like brand new person, kind of like the whole Phoenix type situation.
Yeah.
So I'm about to be dropping the funk is back. Like I'm about to be dropping some like feel good, like just something that you can like glue to again. Dropping that one like in like later summer, probably around like well I ain't gonna split a date on it because I ain't gonna jinx it, but it's dropping and I'm excited. And I'm gonna be leading into this next phase in my music career and in sound and everything. But it's like, man, back to that feel good, back to the funk, like what I'm saying. Back to the dance, like but it's like it's a different level now, So I'm excited and everything. I'm going to be touring Europe in the next week, doing a bunch of festivals like Splash and Melt. Probably doing some touring like in fall.
That's what's up.
And yeah, man, like just continuing, man.
We're working on it. The year of Duckwrth, man. I'm calling it now. The year of Duckwrth. Y'all better be listening now. In Europe. You hear that? My man's coming around the festivals. Get the tickets. Go see him. It's going to be a crazy show. The mosh pits are going to be out of this world. You already know.
Oh, yeah. That is definite.
Most definite.
That is a definite. And that's the thing. I feel like I have the only show where you can actually like hit your two-step and then you can, see in the mosh pit too.
A little bit of all flavors for everybody.
Yeah, all flavors.
That's what's up. All right, man. Thank you so much for calling or for, getting on the phone with us.
Yeah, man. No problem, man.
All right. Peace. This is Seyi Aladejobi from WRSU signing out. Y'all have a good one.
Hey.